going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new and exciting episode of the Viall Files Ask Nick edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by the household of Allie, Amanda, Genevieve, Derek, Justin, somewhere in here. Do we keep introducing him, or just some guy who...
Wait, the best was when you used to say, there's a man in the room named Derek. as if there was someone like fixing the AC or something, not a genuine, like a huge central part of our team.
You know, just let them know when the household grows. Anyways, we're all here.
There's a man in the room named Justin.
Also, Steve's here. Not here with us.
Yeah. But Steve's in
the family.
In the state.
Yeah.
He exists.
Good flyer.
He exists.
Yeah.
I'm really still reflecting on the fact that you've always dreamed of naming dogs Jeff and Steve. That's really, that's awesome.
2023 truly has, it's had certainly its downs, but I've crossed off a lot of life goals all in 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you, oh my God, wait, I had a question, which is, are you going to get a tattoo of Steve?
Now 100%, yeah.
Okay, do you already know?
No.
Okay.
No. I know. Well,
it's going to be close to the one of Jeff?
Well, the part, like, I really liked the artist who did it. It was, you know, when I was getting one of Jeff, it was the only tattoo artist that, like, it's Jeff's full body. And it kind of captures his spirit almost.
Yeah, he's being
most of the dog ones I would
roly-poly.
see were like headshots for like, they're like senior pictures.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Like the yearbook photos.
Like looking regal, you know, like staring off. But I also don't want to get like what will appear to be identical tattoos, because even though Jeff and Steve are different colors, that you can't really capture that in a tattoo. We'll figure out a way.
I feel like if you did one, because I know Jeff's on his back on the one that you have. So if you did one of Steve where he was like not on his back, then you
Different
could see
position.
the spots. Yeah.
We'll figure out a way.
Like play. Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. But I'm not going to rush in. You're going to give it some time. Maybe Steve will, you know, demonstrate some personality that I want to capture in the tattoo, you know?
When was the last time you got a tattoo? I feel like there was an era where there were like a lot of new ones, and it's been relatively...
I went on I went on a streak not too long ago. I think the eagle. No, the last one is this one.
The skull.
Yeah.
Thought it was a burger for a second. I was
burger.
like, oh, a burger. Nick was hungry.
Okay,
At this
awesome.
point, you would probably believe any tattoo I got.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They wouldn't be like, oh, no, he wouldn't do that.
And I'd have to sit here
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a choice. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah, I just have one on my ribs. It's like a sneaky little guy.
Oh.
Can't see it that much.
Yeah.
It's the coordinates of a train station in Rome. That
Oh.
big fan of public transit. And I
Not
got
I.
to live in Rome, and it was wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Do you have any tats? Do you have any that
I
you're
told
considering?
myself I would get one this year, but I haven't decided whether that means 25 or 2023. Because I'm kind of running out of time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Okay. But I also like, I feel like I need to give myself a time limit, or I'll be at the end of my life and I'll be like, oops, still never got one. Maybe this year.
I don't.
Do you have any like inspiration, thoughts, ideas, what it might be?
I have like 3 or 4 ideas. Like I know exactly what I would get. I literally don't know what I'm waiting for.
What would you get?
I mean, we don't need to get into it.
Okay.
I
It
don't
will
think the
remain
people
a
care.
secret until an exciting reveal.
The people care about Nick's burger tattoo.
That's actually
I mean, I do love a burger. So
Nick's like, who would do a really good burger on me?
there's some good artists out there.
It is instead a skull with flowers. And I wanted to, so, okay, I was thinking about this because my boyfriend very sweetly, after we had kind of like, you know, a miscommunication, like, you know.
It happens. Yeah.
It like wasn't really a fight because there wasn't really a back and forth. It was just like miscommunication and hurt feelings. And he bought me flowers, which was very sweet. He also bought me a really nice cheese, which I have to say was
Did you like the flowers or the cheese better?
both for different reasons. Like I like the flowers because I see them in my room, and I like, and there was something so like my heart melted when he like sent me a text that was just like, come outside. And then he was like on my doorstep with flowers. And I feel like there's like a visual of that really made my heart melt. That cheese though, it's like a sheep's milk, like, ooh.
So he was holding the flowers on almost bended knee?
Well, he was standing.
He was standing.
He was standing up.
I think you got to give him credit for the presentation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be holding the flowers, you're not just like having delivered them with a note. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's usually what I do.
Do you know her favorite flowers?
They are.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
Well,
maybe
these
you know
ones-
what they look like.
These ones over here on my arm. They're, what do they call them?
Well, show us.
Lilies.
Lilies
Oh.
and
You got her hydrangeas. Guys.
Hydrangeas.
Thank you.
Allie with the snag.
Yeah,
I know
hydrangeas.
so much about Nick.
Yeah.
I feel like I got it.
Yeah, the presentation I think is important.
It's huge. Yeah. We love a flowers
But
moment.
we like flowers for a fuck up.
It was just funny because he was like, yeah, I was thinking about this, or I was like, every time you see someone holding flowers, you're like, oh my God, they're like sweet partner alert. And then he was like, but sometimes it's like, hey, I fucked your sister. Here are the flowers.
Not saying that that's what
Okay.
Amanda's boyfriend
I
Let's
only
clarify.
have a brother. So, till further notice.
and he fucked him.
Yeah. No,
Honestly, if they did, I'd be like, 2 gay siblings. I'd just be really happy that my brother was queer. I think that would be the headline. Obviously, it would be a
It wouldn't
pretty
be
big
the
betrayal.
cheating.
It would be a pretty big betrayal. It would probably fuck me up in all the different ways. But I'd also be like,
Silver lining.
oh my God, both of us.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
also, but I don't understand. Like, it doesn't mean that he's not a good partner.
No, not at all. It's just like, I feel like sometimes it's like, oh, this is like a random act of like romance. Whereas like, it can also be like a very
me.
like, sure.
Who never does anything wrong, and when I give flowers, it's only
It's always
the
just
kindness of my heart.
whimsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
I'm
I'm
kindness-
not really getting flowers. Should I send a text to my boyfriend? You're like, what the fuck?
Well,
maybe
Maybe I'll just send him this intro.
your boyfriend I've never met.
Yeah.
Your made up boyfriend.
Yeah, I made
he
a
goes
boyfriend.
to a different school.
I get a different I get a different actor every week. They all look a little bit the same.
improviser training. No, but
It's okay if you're actually single.
Oh my God,
you can
no.
tell us. We won't.
I didn't
No.
think I could get the job if I was single. Nick told me that in the interview.
It's
Genevieve,
opposite of
just hold
Bachelor
on to the
rules.
flowers. They're coming. I promise.
Okay, Allie's gonna get me flowers.
well,
Thank
I
God.
was before I had gotten my boyfriend flowers like 3 times because he fucking he's a big plant guy, has beautiful plants in his room.
Oh.
So I'd previously only gotten the flowers, and I'd always done it as a random act of romance.
Well, I don't do that either. So maybe it's like I don't deserve. Why would I deserve them? I'm never giving them.
Well, yeah, you could get the ball rolling, or you could
True.
just.
But I have a cat. I don't think cats can have flowers.
they're cat safe flowers. Also,
Okay.
my cats at home love.
Cats can't have flowers. What do you
Sometimes
mean
they
they
eat
can't
them.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
They're
cats
poisonous for
love.
them.
They go crazy.
They're poisonous.
Some of them are. You can get
Cat
cat safe flowers.
safe.
Okay.
I know this because I have a cat who's obsessed
What are
with roses.
what are some cat safe flowers, Genevieve?
Roses. There's a ton. Sunflowers. And then there's not a ton. I don't know these other
What's
two.
not a cat safe flower?
There's like 1 or 2 that are super toxic.
A lily.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no. Chrysanthemum.
No,
I'm not gonna try that anymore.
Chrysanthemum.
Daffodil. That's how daffodil is spelled. What the fuck
What
is
does a
happening?
daffodil look like?
It's the white with the little yellow center.
Yeah, you'll know when you see it.
That was a daisy.
Daisies are a little more like thin in the petal.
Know your flowers.
I was gonna ask, for your wedding, are you having any role in the flower discussion?
I'm paying for them.
Do you have any preferences that you've expressed, or is it?
Natalie has excellent taste
She sure does.
in kind of just everything. So my contribution is to know that she has taste.
Yeah, give her your
If that
vote.
makes sense.
Yeah.
My input would be a distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any input with this?
Yeah.
Like what?
Most of it.
Oh,
I took a lot of good ideas.
took.
Like
Yeah.
collected, like
Yeah.
got ideas from
Oh.
all around and kind of like handpicked the ones where you're like, yes, let's execute these ones.
Yeah.
Sounded like you were saying that you claimed ownership over
No.
a lot of her good ideas.
No. Most of the ideas weren't mine, but I put out like this is the aesthetic and vibe I'm going for.
There's a lot of mood boards.
A lot of mood boards, yeah.
A lot of mood
Yeah.
boards.
And I didn't even know what a mood board was.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. Well, speaking of input, do we have
Oh,
someone?
Well, I want to
looking
hear
for
your
ours?
massage story.
Oh, I was just gonna say.
You
Okay,
started the episode be like, I got a massage, and it was like, how did you describe it? As
okay. I described it via text as barely above board. Like there was something
Oh,
about
who was
No.
your masseuse?
I don't know her name. She was a
lady?
lovely
woman.
woman.
Okay.
It was more just the facilities. And okay, so to be fair, I got this massage on Groupon. I don't get massages. It's not something I do. My shoulder hurts. I'm waiting to go to like physical therapy to like figure out what's going on. And my mom was like, Amanda, just get a massage. Like you're clearly like muscle tension is a huge issue. Like just get a massage. And I was like, fine. Went on Groupon, found a massage. It wasn't a massage bed.
It was a chair?
No, it's just like a
Love
bed.
a chair.
It's just like a regular bed.
What do you mean a regular bed?
Like a full queen?
like it's
like it had like blankets
Had
on
sheets
it?
on it? A comforter? Pillows?
Yeah. Well, there
Where
was.
did you go?
I went to this.
Someone's house?
No, a facility. But there was when I was walking by. Okay, well,
Did it have like a stuffed animals and pillows on it?
there was a bouquet of flowers on one of the beds, but I think dried flowers.
On one of the beds?
Yeah, like it was weird. It felt like
How did you go face down?
Yeah, you
there
were
was
smothered
they
yourself.
had a round pillow.
Were you comfortable?
Yes.
Wait, but then your face, the round pillow, sure, it's elevated, but then there's
And you're
no
like,
airway.
Face down? How does that?
Yeah. I don't get massages, so this was like a huge treat, kind of regardless.
Anyway, so where did it get weird? I
Well,
mean, the bed's weird, but
Yeah.
where did
it was just the facilities. Oh, well, I got kind of stressed for her because a man came in the middle of it.
What? There was an interruption?
So a man came into so the door, every time it opened, it was like made like a ding dong noise and a voice said, "Hello, welcome," like in that exact tone. And so a man came in and this is a small business. So I totally she was went out to help him, which I was like, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah. And she was like, come back in 30 minutes to him. He then comes back. I know because I hear, "Hello, welcome." And she's not done. And and I can tell he's like a punctual gentleman because he's like 30 minutes. And I can tell it's been 30 minutes on the dot. I've been face down, but I'm like this guy. I feel like I know the type. And then she kept going on me. And I was getting stressed for her. I was like, you have this other client who came back in 30 minutes after the dot and you're still rubbing my neck. And every time she did something new to a different side, I was like, oh no, you're going to have to even this out. I was getting worried for my
Where
masseuse.
was he waiting?
In the there was a front area.
Like on the other side of the bed,
Yeah. He was at the foot of the bed, just kind of.
eating popcorn.
He started helping
Yeah.
to quicken the
It is-
process.
It is true about a massage, though. If you that's why you really have to be relaxed and why the environment matters. Because if you are thinking about your surroundings, you can't. It's
Yeah.
counterproductive. You
Yeah.
really need to unwind.
Do you get massages
Oh
a
my
lot,
God,
either
as
of you?
much as I can.
How often would you?
I'm an engaged man because I got a chair massage at the Whole Foods.
Wait, what? Restate
How is
that.
it-
The masseuse took a photo of him in the Whole Foods parking lot, and that was the photo that Natalie DM'd him about.
Wow.
I used to get a chair massage at the
Oh.
Whole Foods 4 times a week.
One of my favorite facts about
Wait,
you.
what?
Yeah.
I'm looking this up online. That's crazy.
I love
to
a good chair massage,
Yeah.
and I believe her name was Diane. Anyways, I spent $3,000 with her one year.
Wow. That's a really wholesome.
It was the best part of my day. And as a single serving guy, when you're single, you go to the grocery store a lot. You don't at least I didn't shop for a week, whatever, because you waste a lot of groceries that way. And I lived in Venice. The Whole Foods was close, and I'd go get a piece of chicken and I don't know, whatever. And so it just became part of my routine where I'd go and get a 30-minute massage. I didn't care.
Before or after you got the groceries?
Usually before, but sometimes I had to wait. My turn.
Be
But
accommodating.
Usually not.
And everyone could see you doing this?
Oh, if they were, yeah. I mean, I wasn't private.
I didn't even know Whole Foods did this.
They do.
Yeah.
At least the ones in Chicago are the ones where I first notice it because you will be checking out and then there will be a wall that is maybe 4 feet high. It's not a half wall, but it is not a full one. And you can just see there's one of the massage chairs that you sit in
Oh, this one wasn't even behind any wall. It was right where
out in the open.
it was stationed where all some of the the relaxation products were at.
Oh, yeah.
you
I know
know?
what you're talking about. That section of Whole Foods where it's
Yeah, it's
Huh?
not food, but it's more other.
it's natural
Yeah,
beauty
natural.
brands.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Have you and Natalie ever gotten a couples massage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
We have it at the house now.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's nice. I thought about becoming sometimes I in my head I'm feels like a good gig to I know you have to really invest and really grind and work super hard, but once you have a good list of clientele, I was it feels like a very impactful hands-on thing to do where it's I feel like it would be very gratifying
Literally.
being oh my God, you were so tight and now you're relaxed. And this was hopefully a highlight of your week.
I loved her because she would hum songs and in such a nice way that I really enjoyed it. It really relaxed me. She would call in sometimes kind of sing. I never really said to her can you keep singing? But it was always very
I know.
relaxing.
I
Yeah.
feel like masseuses are very
I really miss
intuitive.
her because the pandemic happened and then we just
Fell out of touch.
lost touch literally, and I moved. you know, and
You should drive on down there. See if
I
she's
tried
still there.
because she would like send me like all the on my like Apple Pay, and like I would get the receipts or whatever, and that's how much I knew how much I spent at the end of the year. I was like, wow.
I want her to join us for an intro sometime.
If
Talk
you're
pop
out there
culture.
and you used to rub me at Whole Foods,
Oh. Oh.
specifically at the Whole Foods,
Oh, do we have a writer in her?
that came out wrong.
If you used to rub me at the Whole Foods.
A misconnection. I miss your touch.
I miss your touch.
Yeah.
We lost touch.
Well,
We have a writer.
he says, "Hi there." Yep. Yeah, you
He
heard that
says.
right. He's a boy. Woo! If you are a boy, please write in. Hi there. I'm a 27-year-old male, and I need advice on how to ask my female, I think same age, coworker out. I work in a field that does not go into an office, and I don't see my coworkers in person, except for the 3 to 4 people on my direct team. We go to different accounts in the area and usually only communicate with the other teams if we happen to be going to an overlapping account. We do branch out in meetings and trainings about once or twice a quarter with all the teams in the area. The last one we did was a few months ago, and I met this girl who just moved from a different state. We talked here and there throughout the day, but nothing too flirty and was mostly professional. I followed her on Instagram the next day, and she followed me back. We've texted a few times about work-related things and ran into each other at an account one other time, but again, wasn't super flirty. She did respond to my story on Instagram recently, saying happy birthday. Would love some advice on how to pursue her and get a better feeling if it would be a good idea to ask her out.
Well, they work together, so any follow back or happy birthday wish is just being polite.
But they don't really work together.
I guess your point is that you have motives to kind of like schmooze slightly with people or like be on good terms with someone, like because they're in your network, so to speak. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, if you were working with someone, whether you worked with them directly or not, and they followed you on Instagram, would you just, and not following them back would be a choice.
But the happy birthday.
Yeah, it seems like it's the happy birthday that is.
I think it's a reach.
Yeah, I don't know
I think
that
they're
it's
going to get married.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't shoot your shot. I'm just saying we followed each other. She wished me a happy birthday. He's writing it as if like signs he's been trying to read into.
Yeah.
Well, he did say like he wants advice on how to pursue her, but also if he should even ask her out, if this is even.
Right. It seems like he's not looking for like a straight up ask her out, more of like a how do
I find
like,
out?
Yeah, like make a setting that's more conducive to like.
I think you just kind of have to find out. Well, yeah, I know so many people write in kind of hoping that, I guess I appreciate you thinking that we're capable of coming up with some sort of like fail-safe way that will secure a date while simultaneously not set you up for any type of rejection or, but
Do you want a
sometimes,
shot at the title?
yeah, sometimes you have to fuck around and find out, you know?
Can't wait to flirt with you.
Can't wait to flirt with you. What are the risks, I guess? Because he works with her.
But again, like barely. So I don't even think there are many risks. You see her like once a quarter. What even is that?
And are they local? Are they in the same town?
It seems like yes, but they're on like different teams within the company.
Do we even
So
know
they
if
don't
she has a
really-
boyfriend, girlfriend?
He has her Instagram. There's clearly, you
She
know,
appears single on social.
I would
Yeah.
assume. I would assume he's done some stalking, as one does.
Is there a hangout that you can make it neutral enough where it's like, okay, we're hanging out one-on-one so we can see if we vibe a little bit more, but it's like lunch or something. Like, I don't know, just to
It's-
keep it like less.
It sounds like he has minimal rapport. So just shooting his shot would be a risk. And the worrying about what people might say or think in the company. It's messy. Like work is not like an environment where you want to go out of your way to shoot your. How am I saying that right? But it's a valid
Like, don't shit where you eat.
it's a valid risk. It's a valid concern to like actively shoot your shot. You do have to consider their feelings. Like I wouldn't want to work in an environment where I had to reject someone.
Yeah.
Like you're putting someone in a tough spot.
What if he got a group of people, like people who he's kind of like chatted with at these like company-wide conferences and was like kind of started a group DM on Instagram and was like, hey, like would love to know, like, you know, I know we see each other at these company-wide things, but like would love to like grab a drink sometime together. Like, you know, something being like, you know, it's great knowing people on my team, but I would love to know more people in the company. Like, and then it's kind of like a group thing. And then from there, he can see if they gravitate towards each other.
What interactions have they had? Just a birthday message and
And it's
An Instagram?
twice they've seen each other in person.
what happened there?
They had chats, but mostly professional. It wasn't that flirty. It's a work environment, so that makes sense.
Seems like he really has nothing to go on.
No.
Yeah, they texted about work related things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying like make it like a work event, but like a little bit smaller. So that way, like I don't know if like her team, if he could have like the 3 to 4 people on her team and the 3 to 4 people on his team, or like I don't know, however he would want to facilitate it, or like what the least weird way of kind of like picking some people to join that. But that way it's like a casual, like we're all just like going out for drinks after work, and maybe from there.
I think right now I would table thinking about the best way to ask her out. And in the next month, give or take, I would, make some very like mild just attempts at getting to know her without being overly flirtatious or too much, but just, I don't know what that looks like, but
Like swipe up on her Instagram stories. Like,
yeah,
I
maybe
love this
that.
place.
Maybe okay.
This
So
looks
there you
fun.
go.
Yeah.
She responded happy birthday on Instagram. Okay. Well, I don't know how active this lady is, but engage with her content.
Yeah.
And maybe you can create ask questions and see where that goes. 'Cause that's a pretty mild form of flirting,
Totally.
but it is showing some interest. So just show a very mild amount of interest in her and see if it goes from there. Right? That's the safest way.
Yeah, like if she gives you like 1 or 2 word replies back, like, oh, thanks, like, yeah, it was fun, then it's like, okay. But if
Right?
she's like, oh, thanks, like, I had a really good time, I did this and that, like, do you have any I don't know, I mean.
Well, because
Yeah.
I think nowadays, most single people very much feel the burden of being single. And most people who are single are frustrated with dating culture and climate. So if someone you could even possibly be interested in you is paying attention to you, I think you tend to pick up on that quickly and play things out. So I think if there isn't an interest, the answers will be fairly abrupt and curt. It'll be pleasant, but if there is an interest and you ask questions, they will probably ask questions back. It'll go somewhere. So start there and then write us back.
And also, if there's, well, maybe this is actually not good things to encourage, but I feel like the holiday party is always the loosest everyone is at a company.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's like drinking, things are flowing freely, like everyone's just in like a looser, more easygoing mood, and I
Sure.
think that's where people can like start to connect in a way that might not feel like strictly professional.
Look for opportunities is my point. Before you cold turkey shoot your shot, try to ask this person non-work related questions via the internet. And then when you're in their company, continue to ask some questions and pay attention to, as you guys pointed out, to how they interact with you. Do they engage in those conversations? Or they generally seem like they're just answering your questions to be nice? And see if you can evolve. Just get to know them, show an interest in what they do, and see if she shows an interest back.
Yeah,
Probably the safest way.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's time to get to our callers. Don't forget to send in those questions at asknick@theviallfiles.com for all things Ask Nick, texting office hours, all of the above. Oh, but don't forget, we have an Update Classic that dropped last Friday, free to all. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. Some juicy updates for you. And if you're starving for more updates, don't forget, as always, behind Viall Files Plus, there are several episodes of Update Classic, about 15 or 16 episodes there. So if you haven't signed up for Viall Files Plus yet, you are definitely missing out on some of the juiciest updates that you've been listening to. Do not miss them. Just go to viallfiles.com to sign up for Viall Files Plus. It is free to sign up, so check it out. All right, let's get to our callers.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Good. My name's Brooke. I'm 34 years old, and I'm dating a married man.
Okay. All right. Well, Give us the details. Is he separated? Is he cheating? Does she know? Like, what's going on? Are you just like, is another way of saying this as I'm having an affair with a married man?
Yes. So he's not yet separated. He's trying to be separated. She does not know.
Does not know that he wants the separation, or just about you guys seeing one another?
All of the above.
Yeah, all of the above. So they talk about being separated, but they're not legally separated yet.
And I am assuming everything you know about their marriage is through his words, the liar.
Correct.
I'm just
So,
going to refer to him as the
again,
liar. Because,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Well, I mean, obviously I ask him questions, but I'm not dumb and naive to think that, like, I'll take solely his word for it.
yeah, I mean, you're not dumb or naive, but it's just it's in your, I guess, maybe subconscious, I don't know how to say it, or your body might think it's in its best interest to believe him, you know? You're just very vulnerable. How did you guys meet?
So he has a daughter with one of my friends, and well, because one day I was like, oh, he's cute. And she's like, well, yeah, he said the same about you. And then she's like, yeah, he keeps talking about you. And then I'd be like, well, I didn't know why he was talking about me, but come to find out, he was never talking about me. But she was also telling him that I was asking about him. And so she was just trying to get us, because she doesn't like his wife.
Your friend.
My friend does not like his wife.
And your friend thought it would be a good idea, because she doesn't like his wife, to introduce her friend and initiate an affair?
With her baby daddy.
Yes. Yes.
So the friend who set them up has a child with this man.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Like, this was, I know this is so complicated.
All right,
sounding.
so our audience isn't as confused as I am. You have a friend who has a child with the man that you're having an affair with.
Yes.
And one day, out of spite, she decided to set you up via, I don't know, sounds like a little bit of lying.
It was, for sure.
And just to spite his current wife. When did he have a baby with your friend? How old is the kid?
She is 17.
Oh, okay.
How
Yeah.
old is this man?
How old is this? Yeah, thank you.
36.
36?
36 minus 17.
Yeah.
20. Yeah, so they were,
Like 19,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were
okay.
young.
Bonkers.
Plot thickens.
The plot does thicken. Wow. Okay.
Uh, yeah, so anyway, come to find out, like, he was never asking about me. We just started talking about their daughter, because, like, I'm around her as well because of my friend. Like, I go to her, like, games or whatever, and common ground to conversate, and it just, like, snowballed from there.
Snowballed. That's an interesting way of putting it. Have you
I don't know.
have you met the wife?
Yes,
How many times?
like, a lot.
You've been sleeping with him, and in between that, you have been pretending to not know him while he's pretending to be a husband to his wife.
Correct.
Gotcha. How's that make you feel?
Shitty.
Okay. Good.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, like, it's not fun, but, like, my feelings just, like, outweigh. Like, I put it out of my mind.
you compartmentalize it, so to speak.
Yes.
Not a good thing.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm not trying to justify anything here of mine at all. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make it seem like this is all okay.
Yeah. So you know, obviously, my stance on this topic. I can't imagine you wrote in expecting me to be like, well, love conquers all.
Right. That's like,
so
I mean, that's why I'm mainly nervous.
Why
too.
did you call? Like, what are you hoping to get out of this? Like, what clarity are you looking to find?
I think I need, because I'm always getting, like, female viewpoints too. Like, not that my friends agree with it, but they're just like, I mean, yeah, if it works out, it works out.
Friends
And
are
I don't know. I just need, like,
terrible for relationship advice. These friends you speak of, like, what Are they happy? What's their relationship status? Are they exactly where they want to be in life? Because my guess is maybe not.
No.
Because
No.
that's what happens when you get advice from people who aren't particularly in love with where they're at.
Yeah, and I think it's ultimately like they can tell me like how they feel about it, but they know that I'm just going to do whatever I want anyway.
Well, that's honest.
Yeah, so I think I just need maybe like a different viewpoint on these things. And like now I think it's like if she found out, it would just be like a big shit show, yes, but he would like ultimately, I don't want to say pick me, but yeah.
I mean, how do you know that for sure?
I don't. I'm just confident in it. Think about
And you're
like,
confident in it because when you're with each other, it feels so good.
I mean, yeah, but that's not the only reason, I guess. It's
What
just
is the reason?
like the way that we are with each other,
How often are you like hanging out?
like once a week, twice a week.
And where? Like a motel?
No. He has like a business and we'll go there, or like sometimes he'll come over to my apartment.
And how much is your relationship sex versus anything else?
Like, is it centered around, or do we spend time doing that?
What?
Like the point of meeting up, or like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you talk and like, I don't know, hang out before or after, but essentially you're meeting up to fuck.
yeah. But yeah,
I mean, listen, I just,
I would
if
be
you,
the first.
I'm just,
No, I'd be the first to admit like this is basically just sex.
okay. I'm just trying to understand it. You know, all I can help you do is try to be a little bit more honest with yourself about what this situation
Right.
is and what it's not. You are making decisions for yourself and you're making assumptions about the situation. You know, you're like, well, because I know because of how he is with me and for what he says to me, but like your whole relationship is centered around sex and the intensity around sex.
Yeah.
It's an absolute high. You know, you are evaluating your relationship with this man solely based off of primarily the sex that you have and the intensity around that and the feelings that you have that. And so every time you see him, you're getting this fix, just like any like drug addict who like, you know, you are associating him with a fix. You're not going to be able to feel differently. You feel how you feel, but you should have the self-awareness to look at the situation and say, I don't know how much I should be able to trust my own feelings given the context of this relationship, which is based off of lies and sex.
Yeah, because I don't have an outsider's perspective, especially a male's outsider perspective of like, what tough questions should I be asking myself to make me realize like this isn't gonna.
I mean,
actually
what
work.
kind of person do you want to be?
I never in a million years thought I would be in this position.
No one does. You know what I'm saying? But you are, and now you're here, and now like, you know, now you have to do something about it. You can't be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I never thought I would be here, but I am, so like, whatevs. And like this whole idea that you didn't think you were capable of making low character choices, but turns out you are. We all are. We
Mhm.
are capable of being self-centered and selfish, and we're all capable of lying to ourselves. But at the end of the day, it just
Mhm.
comes down to like deciding what kind of person do you want to be.
I don't know. I mean, who's to say like if we actually got together, like why wouldn't he just go cheat on me?
Correct. Because in your mind, you're thinking best case scenario. When push comes to shove, he's going to pick me. Eventually, he's going to have the guts. He's going to ask for divorce. And then like, it's going to be dramatic and messy and sloppy, but he's going to pick me. And that's you're thinking that is a best case scenario. You're hoping for that on some level. But the
Mhm.
scary part for you is even at his best, even if he's like, you know what, I finally found my person and I don't like the way I went about it and I'm so like regretful and blah, 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 blah. And then you know, get engaged and then you get married, you know, and you start a family with him, you know, he's got another kid with a third person, you know, he's out there just populating. And then 5 years go by. Life happens. You're having a kid. You're not feeling your best. You're tired. You get disconnected. He has stress at work. You maybe get a job. He meets a, you know, spicy 30-year-old 5 years from now. That's when he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And he'll have all the same excuses he has now. He'll victimize himself. He will, you know, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm not getting what I need, you know. This is not.
I mean, that's what he's saying now.
Of course.
'Cause, like,
and I'm sure some of his reasons are valid, but there are two people in this world. There are people who recognize that their needs aren't being met, even if it's fair or not fair, and they accept the situation that they're in. As difficult or as uncomfortable as it is, they deal with their shit if they think that the situation they find themselves in presently isn't serving them the best. And if they have to get out of that situation, they go about it the right way and communicate that to the people they need to communicate it to, and and they deal with the mess and they go about the right way. And other people make excuses and victimize themselves and justify their choices, and they choose their selfish needs above anyone else. And that's who you are having an affair with. At the end of the day, this is a person that he's going to choose himself. Right now, him choosing you is him choosing himself. You're just the person he wants right now. But what happens when you're not the person he wants, per se, or the person he's, has his eye on, or the person who's just like in front of him when he's feeling the loneliest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's who you're considering a relationship with. And I don't have to know the man to know that about him. He's also weak. You're dating a little weakling.
What has he been saying to you is the reason why he hasn't, if they've even been already talking about separating, what's his excuse for not having gone to her and asking for that and pursuing that, getting the papers and working on that?
Because they have kids together.
People get married, have kids, get divorced all the time. And you can have two parents split up and they can prioritize their kids. Right now, that's the thing. He's not even prioritizing his kids. He's only prioritizing himself. I mean, to me, I only see you have one option. That's, I think, the right option. I don't know what you're going to do. But one option is just walk away. But you're not going to do that. I know that. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, please prove him wrong. Please.
Prove me wrong. But if you want to give this guy a shot and you're not willing to walk away from him, you at least have to be willing to try. You have to sit down and say, we can't do this anymore.
Well, before I was thinking, like, it was on my mind, like, I think that we should just not really keep this going until you're legally separated.
When did you say that?
I haven't said it, but I've said to him that, like, I've thought about it.
You need to. You can't say it like that. You can't be like, well, kind of, I feel like you're okay. You need to stand there, and you need to get angry. You need to get mad. You need to realize that you've been taken advantage of. Now, granted, you've done some shit too, but you have the right to get mad at him. You also should be mad at yourself, but you can get mad at him too. And you don't say, I don't think we should do this. You say, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not who I want to be. I hope it's not who you want to be. I do care about you, and this is how I feel about you. Be honest with how you feel about him. I love you, whatever you want to say. But you can say, I refuse to compromise my character any longer. I don't want to be this person. So if you really want to be with me, if you want to make this work, then you need to deal with your shit and you need to separate. And I need to know that she knows, and he needs to prove it to you. And you shouldn't do this in his presence, because his presence, you only see him at his office where you usually have sex. It's a vulnerable environment for you. Text it to him. You don't need, he doesn't deserve anything. So this whole, like, should I do it in person, whatever, he doesn't. Text it. Want to text him right now?
I'm not mad enough right now.
You don't have to send the text.
No, this is not an active situation.
No, but
You're never going to be ready. And that's why I say text it, is because, like, you don't have to be mad to text it. You have to be mad to, like, face him in person. You just have to be ready to do it. You're just not ready to not get laid one more time.
Well, I'm so, like, emotionally involved with him too. Like, that part, I'm not ready for.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to heal from that. I don't know what to tell you, but
I think it helps too when you were saying that I'm being taken advantage of, because, like, that's not a point that somebody has brought up to me before.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking advantage of yourself too, but he is as well.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the little one's yours?
Yeah.
Well, also something you want to consider as well. This is potentially your son's future role model.
Yeah.
I bet it's really exhausting. Like, I don't know kind of what the situation with, like, your son's dad is, but, like, I'm sure it's really exhausting being a single mom. I imagine that this is, like, one of the few things that gives you a sense of relief, or where you get to feel, like, carefree. And so it's like part of it is not only ending this situation, but finding things to replace it with. like finding things that make you feel good and make you feel a sense of relief and make you feel a sense of support that don't make you feel like shit right after.
Yeah, like I did just like I started going to school again. Like I literally just started.
Good for you.
That's
today.
amazing.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be thankfully occupying a lot of my time.
Yeah, it is amazing.
like,
and hopefully it does.
Obviously not in a way that I would want it to, but
Well, it might not be as fun or certainly as sexy, but you going to
Right.
school is an investment in yourself that's going to pay dividends. And it will take up your time, but, he is going to negatively affect your ability to actually stick through this. I mean, it's like you only have so much emotional bandwidth. And to Amanda's point, being a single mom is already enough on anyone. Then dealing with an emotional affair and all the toxicity that comes with it, and then going back to school. We're not going to stop being a mom. I don't think you should quit school. And I don't know if you can handle all three, so maybe we just quit him.
I mean that sounds like
I'm assuming when he reaches out to you, do you just kind of almost drop everything, no matter what's going on, to like rush over to where he's at?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
But just think about that. He's your number one priority, this guy.
Yeah.
The good news is this is your choice. You have the agency and the power to clean up this mess.
Mhm.
This doesn't have to be your defining moment of your life. It can be in a bad way. Your choices matter. You can ruin your life, as I often say. People don't think that. I remind my team all the time. You are not guaranteed a good life. And you are the biggest decider in how your life turns out. And you have a beautiful child, you sound like you have friends, you have the time to call us. You're going back to school. There's a lot of good. I hope this is like, I want this to be some sort of wake-up call. And who knows who might meet in school? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're doing online, but through school, you're going to connect and network with people and be open to that possibility. Put it out into the universe that you want to make friends and you want to meet people, and who knows? You got introduced to this guy, so you can certainly get introduced to someone else who ideally doesn't have a wife.
Right.
I would get off the phone with me and I would take out a big piece of paper and I would write down, what kind of person do I want to be? Big question mark, and hang it on your bathroom mirror. Because right now, when you get off the phone with me, you're going to like shoo it away. You're going to forget about it. And your ego or whatever it is that's causing you to make these destructive decisions is going to take over. And you're just going to, forget about it and put it away. And you're going to focus on your feelings for him. You need something to remind you, to kind of guilt you in or shame you into, like, to stop doing this thing. You're not going to wake up one day and be like, today's the day I'm going to stand up to him.
I feel ready and it feels easy today.
Yeah. Oh, I've been looking forward to this whole time. It's never going to happen. Never. You will feel how you feel now the day you have the guts to do it. And that's why I say, well, what's the difference between today and next week? It will only get harder, quite honestly. Your feelings aren't going to go away. You're not going to like him less. So get a vibrator.
Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, I'm kidding, but I don't know.
But also, truly, get a really nice vibrator for yourself.
I'll start saving up.
We'll donate.
Yeah.
Or just go fund me for a vibrator.
Can we do that? Is that allowed? Is
I
that
think
weird?
we should partner with a sex toy company
Yeah.
immediately.
Are you sure we don't want to text them right now?
I'm sure.
Why?
Like I know I need to do this, but like I know like this is so dumb sounding of me to say, but like I just don't feel like ready.
You're never going to feel ready, though. Let's
Let's
just
draft it.
As long as you promise not to make me send it right now.
Well, I mean, you're there. We're here, so we can't make you.
Okay.
But let's just draft it. Let's read it together. Let's see how it feels. How do we want to start it? Hey,
Listen up.
listen up. How about we just say, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not the person I want to be. It's not the person I want to believe that you are. We both have made choices that are hurting others, and that's something that I no longer want to be a part of. I feel very strongly for you. And despite what we're doing, I still have a lot of hope around what we might be able to be. But I can't be a part of an affair any longer. If you feel as strongly about me as I feel for you, then you will do what's necessary with regards to your marriage And then maybe we can go from there. But I need to know with 100% certainty that you've told her he needs to come clean. He needs to be honest about what he's done. And you need to know that. Yeah. I mean, I also think that another version of that is just saying, I no longer want to do this anymore. Goodbye. Or you could just block him. There's that too. My first choice for you is to delete his number. Well, no, I'm sorry. Block him, delete his number, block him on Instagram, avoid him, disappear, don't give him an acknowledgement, and move on with your life. That's what I truly wish for you. This is an alternate choice, but still a decent one. Better than what you're doing now. And to reiterate one more time, you will never be ready to send this. You will never feel good. You will always be scared that you're going to relapse. So now is as good a time as any.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a friend that you trust with your character? Do you have a friend that will actually give you honest advice and say, I love you, but I'm so disappointed in you. What are you doing? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Well, yeah, like she knows about everything, and like she tells me like I don't agree with it, but again, like I said, like I know you're gonna do what you want to do.
Oh yeah, you could say, listen, I really don't want to do this, and I don't want to be the person who's gonna do. Do you know what that should? I mean, it's tough love here. That should embarrass you. Someone who cares about you saying, well, I know you're gonna do what you want to do, which implies that like I know you're not gonna do the right thing. You're gonna give into your weaknesses. Your friend doesn't trust you to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
But you're not a lost cause. So stop treating yourself like you're a lost cause.
Yeah.
And then other people won't either. Like you are not a lost cause. You can send this text message.
If you can be a single mom who has the guts to go back to school and invest in himself, you can get over this fucking guy.
True.
Listen, you got in this situation. I can, off the top of my head, probably think of a bunch of sympathetic reasons why you made the choices that you did. Loneliness, haven't, had some good sex in a while. I don't know what other reason, some validation, feeling special. It all feels good. I get it, Maybe you were in a rut and you met the wrong guy at the worst time. But you had the self-awareness and the guts to reach out to us. You know it's not okay. You know it's wrong. You're getting some tough love feedback here. And now you're really, again, at this critical junction of like, what kind of person you want to be? Again, I would get off the call and I would take out a piece of paper, and I'd write it down and I would tape it to your bathroom mirror and wake up every day. Wake up. What kind of person you want to be? You put it on your screensaver. So when he texts you or whatever, it's up to you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So there's no chance we're going to have you send it today?
I don't know. Like right this second, no, I still might send it today. I just right this second.
Well, I'm rooting for you to send it today. And if you don't send it today, I'm rooting for you to send it tomorrow and the next day after that. And I beg you, the next time he reaches out to you, just to try saying no. Or, even better, not respond.
Mm-hmm.
He will always make time again in the future to have more sex. Don't act like it's like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So like say no to him.
Yeah.
Don't respond to him. At least, if you don't have the guts to send it in the next few days, the next time reaches out, at least have the guts to ignore him.
Yeah, I mean, I do sometimes like, and he'll be like, oh, okay, or okay, cool. Like just classic, like.
Okay, cool. This guy doesn't give a fuck.
I'm in that spot where it's like, this kind of sucks.
Totally sucks. Doesn't kind of suck. Totally sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're rooting for you. It's your life.
Thanks.
What kind of life do you
Right.
want? It's up to you. You have so many great things to make good choices for you and your son.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't do it for yourself,
I
do it for
appreciate
him.
it.
But you should want to do it for yourself. You're young, you're beautiful,
Yeah,
you're
I
smart.
mean, absolutely.
You got, stop wasting it on this fucking guy.
Right. I mean, I just, like, that's why I called, because I just needed to hear, like, the tough things. And I knew you'd tell me that, so.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We're rooting for you. We'll be following
Thank you.
up.
I'm sure you will.
All right. Talk soon.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. What more can we say about BetterHelp than what we already have, other than, listen, if you're out there and you've been thinking about jumping into therapy, maybe getting back into therapy, There are a million ways to talk yourself out of going into therapy. One of those ways is, the cost can be expensive. The inconvenience, where do you go to find a therapist? Well, BetterHelp can solve all those problems and more. One, it's more affordable than in-person therapy. It's super convenient. You can talk to a therapist literally whenever, as long as you have a device, a tablet, computer, a phone. You can do it on your lunch breaks. You can do it in your car. The flexibility about BetterHelp is great. They're working with more and more therapists every day. So finding a therapist that matches your vibe and your comfort level are vastly increased with BetterHelp. Doesn't matter what your problems are. You don't really even need a problem. Maybe you just want to talk, get things off your chest. But if you are stressed out about life or love or money, what a great way to invest in yourself. And remember, therapy, really, that's all it is. It's just an investment into your emotional health, We put so much energy into working out and eating right and all those things. Well, taking care of your mental health is just as effective and just as important as all those other ways that we try to take care of ourselves. So make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/VIALL today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/VIALL. BetterHelp.com/VIALL. Grammarly. If you can't spell or you don't know where commas go, like me, you got to check out Grammarly. Grammarly is making all you people at work who aren't as proficient with their spelling and their grammar. You're busy, you're writing emails, and you don't want to sound like a dummy. And there is a stereotype out there that if you have typos in your emails, you're dumb. And I'm here to say that's not entirely true. Just you might be a little lazy, you might be a little dyslexic, there might be a million reasons why maybe your grammar isn't that proficient. And Grammarly is here to help you look smarter and work faster.
I think something I appreciate so much about Grammarly is when I'm trying to communicate via email, oftentimes I'm just kind of stream of consciousing being like, okay, how am I thinking this? And then writing that down. It's so helpful to have Grammarly recommend different rephrases, or oftentimes I'll have said something and Grammarly will be like, or you could just say it this much more concise, clear way that saves like 20 different words. And so I really appreciate that it helps me kind of like communicate what I'm going for in a way that is most clear and efficient for other people to read. I also really like that it integrates with everything on my computer. So whether I'm like texting an iMessage, whether you have a Slack channel, whether it's email, all the different modalities of communication, Grammarly is right there for you, keeping you typo free.
It's also been utilizing AI in a really cool way. With just one click, you can really easily brainstorm, rewrite, and reply with suggestions based on your context and goals so you can improve productivity for you and your teams.
You'll be amazed at what you can do with Grammarly. Just go to Grammarly.com/podcast to download for free today. That's Grammarly.com, GRAMMARLY.com/podcast. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name's Alex. I'm 27, and I have no idea how to do this dating thing, and I'm overthinking my situationship.
Okay. Well, let's focus on the situationship first. What's going on with it? What is it? How long have you been hanging out with this person?
So it's kind of hard. I just moved to a new state. So I relocated my entire life. I was somewhere else for about 8 years. And then chose to just move to a different state.
Why?
I've just been there for too long. I felt like I couldn't grow in the city that I was in anymore.
Okay.
And it was time for a change.
Good for you. And what are you doing in your new city? Like, are you like still searching for a job? Are you like you really just new? Like, how long you been here, and where are you on the getting settled process?
So I literally have been here for maybe a week.
Okay. Super new.
But so I met this person about 2 months before I moved. It all kind of fell into my lap of just getting a job, getting an apartment, and it all just happened really fast from about July to August. And so I had a couple glasses of wine with my friend, and she was like, let's make a dating profile and like see what's out there. And so I was like, oh, okay, like that'd be fun. And I didn't anticipate actually meeting anybody because I haven't dated in a long time.
Okay.
So I made the dating profile, ended up meeting somebody, hit it off right away. They're a single dad, 32, but technically he's still married.
Oh boy.
Well, it sounds worse than it is. His wife came out as gay, so there's that. But they're financially still.
I wonder if it's our friend who called. We had a lady who like who told her husband that she was a lesbian and they're I mean, it's not her. I doubt, but it's how great would that be?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you met him and he's like, so how did he tell you that?
This is where like I think I was ignoring red flags. With the first day we were texting, I was like, oh, like you have a daughter, like, you know, what, like how often do you have her, kind of thing. And he's like, well, I still live with my ex. Well, she's not really my ex. And I was like, what? And then he sent me like this absolute novel of like what happened. And that was like the first day we were talking. And I probably should have like realized that was like an absolute like trauma dump in that moment. But I was like, oh, I appreciate the honesty and the transparency.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
I imagine it would be a difficult conversation to have with someone who might say what should or shouldn't be difficult. But I think, 20 years ago, I think the average heterosexual man would feel very embarrassed and very emasculated by finding out that their wife is gay. It's 2023.
Yeah, that's been a theme that's come up a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about him. Nevertheless, it wouldn't be surprising if he struggled with it. So, like, yeah, good he came clean. That's the least of your concerns. The main concern is that it doesn't sound like you have any clarity on what he wants for himself when it comes to dating and relationships, and you have more confusion than clarity when it comes to him. It feels like a situationship, et cetera, et cetera. And so you know that you're investing in someone that, you have more questions than answers in terms of the direction it's going. And that should be the red flag,
Yeah. So we talked for about 2.5 months before I got here.
Okay. Is he in the city that you moved to?
Yeah.
Is that a coincidence? Or you knew you were moving there and so your dating profile?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dating profile was set to this location.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we talked all day, every day, but then he started kind of like the first 2 weeks, he was like obsessed with me. Obviously that felt really good. So then after a while, I was like, hey, I'm actually like not really talking to anybody else. And he was like, oh, well, plot twist, I am. And I was like, oh, okay. That's fine, whatever. We FaceTimed all the time. Our connection kept growing, but like I knew he was going on dates and like it made me really uncomfortable. But I felt like I couldn't say anything because I wasn't like in the city yet. So I didn't, and I don't know. And then it got weird, and then he hooked up with somebody else.
At that point, had you met up or hooked up or anything, or is it just all like via FaceTime?
This was all text and FaceTime.
And how did he just come clean? He was like, hey, I hooked up with someone. I just want you to know.
We were FaceTiming because he would always like call me on his way to work. But then I knew he was going on dates. I knew he went on a date the night before. And then we were FaceTiming that morning after. And he was like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I was like, I don't really want to know anything. So I just didn't ask. I don't know if he felt guilty or what. But finally he said like, oh, I drank a lot last night. And I was like, what time did you get home? And he was like, 2 a.m. And I was like, you're fucked. I was like, there's no doubt in my mind. So I was like, okay, like, did you kiss her? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, did you fuck? And he was like, not really. And I was like, what does that mean? And then I guess like they like did everything but that. And so I was really upset. We ended up getting in like a huge, like, what are we conversation? And it turned into like, okay, we need to take a step back. Like, you're not even here yet. Like, so it was like, we're moving really fast. We need to take a break. Like, let's just take some time off. And I was like, okay, yeah, I agree with that. And then we didn't talk for like 2 days. And then we started talking again. And then the same thing happened. I was like a week away, maybe like 3 or 4 days away from like moving here. And like things like the same thing happened again. And I was like, I need to focus on like tying up my loose ends here. I can't be worried about whatever you're doing up there. I was like, I'll reach out when it's settled. So I moved up here. And so I got up here, I was unpacking and I was like, I don't really want to reach out right now. And so I didn't. But then he like texted me the night that I got here. And then we started talking again. And then he came over the second night that I was here.
And that was the first time you met in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was fine. We ended up hooking up and we went on a date and it was super awkward. And I was really nervous. I was really tired. Like I had only been here for, at that point, a week. And then he texted me the next day and was like, I don't know about this whole thing. And I was like, what the fuck? You've met me twice in person. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, like I'm kind of happy it went the way it did in a way. It sounds like this person isn't your person.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I'm glad he just did that, and minus your ego, whatever it might make you feel, and the irritation around it. It just sounds like this is just could be a big time waster for you. You're in this new city, like, and it would be super convenient to keep hanging out with them because, like, you're probably I have probably a lot of friends in this city. It's probably very lonely. It's a nice person to have. You could rely on to just keep you company, if nothing else. So.
Yeah.
Probably a big part of your desire to even hang out with them was just to like have a friend.
Yeah, like I'm having a hard time differentiating like those feelings. It's like, do I just not want to be alone and like taking my ego out of it? I feel really confused. And since like he said, like, I don't know how I feel about this or whatever, he's texting me every single day, same thing, like called me in the middle of the day yesterday to like
that's him.
chat.
That's him hedging his bet.
What does that mean?
Well, it mean he's playing both sides. But
is it like having your cake and eating it too?
In a sense, he's hedging his bet by saying, "Well, I don't think this is working for me, but I'm still going to text you." So at any point when you're like, "Well, what the fuck?" He's be like, "Well, I told you I wasn't sure about this thing."
It's like preparing for your bet to fail kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really how it felt.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to like ghost him because I feel like we've been talking for too long to do that. But I'm wondering if I should like, I don't want to just be friends. Like, I don't want somebody who's confused and like just.
But also, do you even really is this person is he still living with his wife?
Yeah.
This is not a guy who that you can assume is ready to give you what you want and need. It's probably a guy who wants to go out and be a little bit of a fuckboy. His wife just was like, woke up one day and was like, "Hey, I'm gay," and that must be a challenge for him. I mean, just a marriage ending is being whatever the reason. Probably fucked him up a little bit, and he's got some soul searching to do and some healing and shit like that, and he's finding companionship through you and some other people, and he's confused, and like he's a project. The right thing to do is for you to just say, "Hey, like I just listen, you're great, and we had some sex, but like you got some shit to figure out. I just moved here. I just think this relationship isn't serving me, and I wish you the best of luck." And who knows?
Okay.
Maybe in a year you run into each other. He reaches back out. He's like, "You know what? Hey, just want to check in. I finally got divorced, and by the way, I've been in therapy or whatever the fuck, and I've been single for a while, been really focusing on myself. I've been alone, and and like I just remember we had a really good connection, and like I'm sorry I way to handle it, and blah blah blah." Then maybe that's there could be a bunch of green flags for you to consider something with him. But right now, I think it's pretty clear that there's way more red flags than green flags. And instead of like taking on this project because it'd be something to do and keep you preoccupied in a new city that's scary and lonely and things like that, you could just let him figure out his own shit on his own because he's an adult. And you could spend your energy not fixing him, but like setting up the best possible life for yourself because you've taken this really scary and big risk to move to a new city at 27 years old. And that's awesome. I don't know what you want to do or how successful you want to be, but the sky's pretty much the limit. But it's going to take work, and it's going to have its ups and downs, and you're going to have to fight through whatever shit you need to fight through, and you're going to need the emotional bandwidth to do it. And if you're too fixated on other guys or other people, you're not going to be focused on yourself. And I feel like right now you're in a period where it almost like pays to be a little selfish. This is the time for you, And if you happen to meet a guy who is full of green flags and doesn't have a bunch of baggage and isn't going through a transitional period on himself, then you can still entertain that and take things slow. So when you called in, like, I don't know,
taking slow things mean though?
What does it mean to you?
Had, like, an issue with it.
Well, it's getting to know someone, and surely getting to know them. That's how I met my fiance, met online essentially, right? Via the internet.
Mm-hmm.
We talked for a couple weeks. We met, and you're right. You can build a great rapport via FaceTime where you feel like you really know someone. And so, yeah, you had sex with them, whatever. Like, you're going to have to decide for yourself what you want to do and how you want to introduce like physical intimacy into your dating life. That's just like the choice is yours. You know yourself. You're going to have to trust your body. Sounds like you've made decisions in the past that you didn't necessarily thought was the best thing for yourself. And you're going to have to figure out what boundaries you're going to have to set for yourself. Taking it slow. It's just like, it's saying know when you want to say yes to the intensity or the chemistry of things. It's focusing on compatibility. It's paying attention to green flags and red flags and not trying to find excuses for the red flags, you know?
Okay.
And it's daring people to like be patient with you. You know, it's easy to make a bunch of like promises, and you know, I know the world loves to call love bombing and things like that, but most of the time it's not love bombing, what people are called love bombing. It's just someone getting excited, getting caught up in the moment, and then just speaking their feelings and confusing them with something else, you know, confusing the intensity of the moment with like feelings like love and intimacy.
Yeah.
And it's saying no to the moment and saying, hey, I want to take it slow, and seeing if that person cares about you enough to want to invest in you and be fine with the pace at which you want to go. Or see if they like throw a little temper tantrum or, you know, respond in a way where it's like, what do you mean slow? Or tries to convince you to not go the pace that you want to go, you know?
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
What's more important is the progress. You know, are you, every day you get to know someone, do you know them a little bit more? You don't really know someone until you really know about their bad habits and how they deal with stress and disappointment and things like that. So, you know, maybe it's that. And if you want to get nuts and hook up, you know, you can do that. But just you're going to have to, you know, emotionally prepare yourself. It's checking in with yourself. It's having those conversations. It's being honest with yourself. It's kind of making those mental notes. It's just like, you know, and seeing if someone's willing to go at your pace.
Yeah. I feel like I keep getting the advice of like, oh, when you know, you know. And like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know what that means when people say that. Yeah, like when Natalie and I started to date, you know, when I was finally like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to get over my fears. Let's date. And then she like moved across the country. She moved in with me. These were risks. But at the same time, I was like, in my mind, I was just like, well, if you're going to do this, we're really going to go for it, you know? And I was optimistic and like I had enough of delusion to be like, I think we can do this. But like, did I know for sure? No, I mean, you know when you know.
Yeah.
Again, anyone who says that has a benefit of hindsight. You don't know. You don't. You know when you know. What the fuck does that mean? It's such an annoying thing. But you were only 27. You're in this new chapter of your life. I would just, if I were you, I would focus on making friends first, and not romantic partners. So if I were you, I would, you know, challenge yourself to make some girlfriends. You know, meet some gay guys, whatever, people who are not trying to have sex with you. Be open to dating and build a support system. You know, build the people that you can reach out to. And hey, do you want to grab a coffee? Do you want to dream? Do you want to go to a movie? You know, because you are going to get bored. You are going to feel lonely, and you need human connection. And the lonely you are, the more at risk you are for making poor decisions. Loneliness is a bugaboo. It's like it really sets us up for failure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why I've tolerated like the back and forth with him out of just like, well, it's somebody to do something with.
Totally. Yeah. I've been there for sure.
Yeah.
But take it slow, you know, like you don't have to figure this all out all at once. Take advantage of the fact that you're in a new city. Take advantage of the fact that you don't know people. Give yourself permission to do things you haven't done before. Kind of go out as an independent woman and like say to the world, hey, I'm looking to meet people. You're going to meet people. People, you know, people are going to want to be around you. You know, and take it slow. Join some classes. You know, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? You know, it's going to feel a little weird. There will be moments of like, what am I doing? Am I forcing it? Yes, you are forcing it. That's okay. You should force it. That's you getting out of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? That's you pushing your limits. And so it should feel on some level like you are forcing it. Bumble BFF, you know, those, you know, I as toxic as dating apps can be, I think when it comes to making friends, it might be worth a shot. Go on some like, you know, girl dates, you know, some friendship dates. New to the city, looking to make, like in your bio, literally like say, I'm looking to make friends.
When I moved, it was like before like I met this person or even like download the dating app, like that was what I was so excited about, was like reinventing everything and trying new things in a different place. So like, I don't know why, like you saying it to me outside of like just knowing it subconsciously, that like I've just put so much effort into like him, like, and like his journey that like I kind of forgot about mine.
Yeah.
I guess. So.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Should we just end it with him right now?
He's at work. I don't
So
want
what?
to do that.
He'll be fine. If he can
He
deal with
probably
his...
wouldn't care much.
Yeah, this is about you. We're no longer responsible for his feelings.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're not going to ghost him because, you know, you're a mature queen and you're able to have awkward conversations. This is worth a text. You don't have to call him or FaceTime. You don't have to sit down with him.
So just like what would I just?
It's really, hey, you know, sorry about the timing. I just wanted to reach out. Like, first, I just want to say, like, it's been really great getting to know you. It'd be nice.
Okay.
Ready? We'll draft it together. Is this an active situation? Derek, active situation.
We have an active situation.
All right. Be like, hey.
Okay.
Good morning.
Should I really say good morning?
I mean, if you'll guess, I think it's funny.
Because it's not going to be a good morning at the end of this text.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning.
I just wanted to reach out. It's been really great getting to know you. I know we've gone back and forth when it comes to like expectations. I want to be upfront that I think right now it's best for us to go our separate ways. You can say right now it's really important for me to like focus on myself right now and really make the most of this new chapter of my life.
And it sounds like you might be in a similar situation as well.
And it sounds like maybe, you know,
like
you have some figuring out about your life as well. And I don't think it's something we should be doing together.
Should I put like a maybe in the future thing?
Absolutely
like,
not.
No?
Absolutely not. No.
They always try to.
No.
We don't let them.
That will happen organically if it needs to happen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I changed it from good morning to morning. Good morning felt like an email, like a work email. Sorry.
That's fair. I just, yeah. And then now you can end with maybe something nice, or if you want to make him, you know, like, I really have enjoyed my time and, you know, just best of luck with everything.
Okay. Should I send it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I sent it.
Now, a couple key tips. He's going to respond, most likely. You're welcome to respond, but do not negotiate with him. This is your final answer. You have made your decision. Be nice, you know, but be short and sweet. You know, what? No matter what he says, the only thing you're allowed to respond to him is essentially repeating the same message.
Okay.
You know, he'll probably just agree with you. You know, he'll probably be like, sure. And then what he will do most likely in the future is like check in with you. Now, if he does check in with you down the right, he's going to agree with you, like, sure. And then he might even act like, what are you talking about? I did this with her, you know, like, he might even act confused, like you're sending this out of the blue. But you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt right now. That you sending this text is you giving him the benefit of the doubt by being like, hey, I just want to communicate. You're communicating with him. And you're assuming that he should read this and respect your choice and then no longer reach out. That would be the mature, responsible thing to do for an emotionally healthy, secure person. But most of us aren't that. You know, I don't know if I would do the right thing, you know, in the moment if I were him. You know, I don't want to check out and see if I could get you to respond. You know, that's human nature. But if he does do that, if he checks in, you have a couple of choices. You could not respond to him. That's option one. Just simply leave him on red. You're not ghosting at that point. This is you saying goodbye. If you want to respond, the only thing you should say is, especially because it's going to be like, hey, you know, what's up? Checking in, or something like that. You could just say, hey, I don't want to communicate like this in the future. I truly wish you the best of luck. And then you literally ask him not to reach out again.
Okay.
Can you do that? If you can't do that, just don't respond. And
Yeah,
then you can give him a heads up. You can say, like, if you
respond.
do, like, I don't want to block you, but like, I do want to, like, I don't want you to be a distraction. So I'm going to block you if you keep reaching out.
Because like in my head, I feel like if he reaches out like in a week or two, like I'm like, oh, well, we've grown so much.
But you haven't. And well, yeah, I mean, you're going to need to know that.
Yeah.
He's going to reach out.
Yeah.
And you will get bored. And in 2 weeks, him reaching out will feel good. And in fact, in 2 weeks, you're going to be like, why hasn't this motherfucker reached out? Why doesn't he fucking miss me?
Yeah.
You know, your little ego
Definitely.
and your toxic side's going to want that validation. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's why, you know, if you block them, there'd be nothing wrong. It might fuck up with them. What would I do wrong? But like, you're allowed to block them because to protect yourself, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Should I like unfollow him on social media at this point then?
Yeah.
Or like, is it not that deep?
It's not that deep. It just has to, you know, you don't do that to send a message. You do it for yourself.
Okay.
You know, so if you want to avoid seeing his shit and following him, you know, whatever, you're not doing it to get a reaction. You know, don't block him to like send some message. You're blocking because you don't want him to have access to you.
Yeah.
You know, so if you can trust yourself not to respond and to enforce your own boundaries when it comes to him, then you don't have to do anything. So yeah, you know, you're going to have some willpower, but
yeah,
he ain't changing anytime soon. He needs a break.
Definitely
He
not.
needs to date around. He needs to have some sex. He needs to be alone for a while. You need to be able to run into this guy a year from now. And if you happen to both be single and it's like, what have you been up to? And then you have some drinks. He's like, you know what? And he needs to be like, you know, as hard as it was at this point, like, thanks for being the bigger person. And boy, let me tell you about my life. And, you know, he's like, I've been really working on myself. And like, I've been dating and yeah, it's been hard, but honestly, it was good. And he needs to sound like a guy who's like, you know, done some growing.
Yeah.
You know, and if he doesn't,
because I want to say that they separated in February, so it hasn't been very long.
Yeah, I mean, and he was married for how long?
They're married for 5 years, together for 10.
Yeah. So it's he's got some, you know, and he's a dad, right? He's got a kid, you know, he's got a lot of shit to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were, you know, you move to a new city, see what's out there, you know, go on some bad dates, you know. And you will. You'll have some bad dates. So get out there, take it slow, focus on some friendships, be open to dating. You know, you'll probably have a lot of options, my guess is. So don't do the thing where you match with 5 guys and have 5 conversations on dating apps and you're just like, don't become a fuckboy, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
So just take it slow.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations for, you know, hopefully ending this situationship. It's up to you.
I will let you guys know.
Yeah, you know,
his response is worthy.
I already know. The update that I'm going to be curious about is, did you follow through with the boundary you set for yourself and communicated with him? Because I know how this guy is going to respond.
Yeah. I hope I can stick with it. I'll try very hard.
You can do it. It's up to you. And then you ask yourself, how much of my energy do I want to invest in this guy I barely know? You took this huge risk, this huge life change, and instead of investing in yourself, you are going to invest in this guy to what? Save him or make him feel better or make him feel less lonely because of his shit he's dealing with? It's not your job or your responsibility, and you're stealing it from yourself. There's like a 99% chance that you won't remember this person's name in 15 years. Literally. And right now, at the most important moment of your life up into this point, you know, in this huge transitional period, he is getting all your energy.
Ew, I don't like the way that sounds.
Oh. Take it from me. You know, I'm a little older, right? I have the benefit of like being able to be like, wow.
What if he pulls the like, let's be friends?
He's not your friend. Feel like we're not friends. I'm not. You've had sex with him. You're emotionally connected with him. You're attracted to each other. He's not your friend.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choice is yours. You know.
Okay.
You're clearly a smart, capable person. You're clearly capable of making tough decisions for yourself. So follow through. Don't waste this amazing opportunity you set yourself up with.
Yeah.
I mean, but truly, I'll tell you another scary possibility. You could have done that, right? This is definitely possible for you in the worst possible way. You could ignore our advice. You could keep hanging out with him. You could give in to boredom. And then a year and a half later, he's still in your life and you're still stuck in the situationship. Meanwhile, you've invested so much of your energy into him in the situationship. You haven't done the work about yourself. You didn't make enough of friends. You know, your job, whatever, you know, it's not going the way you want, and you haven't done anything to like set yourself up for a different job or a career change, yada, yada. A year and a half, 2 years go by. He's finally out of your life, and you feel so disconnected and lonely and lost that you just go back home to where you came from.
I don't want that.
Well, it's far more likely that if he sticks around your life, that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
Your time is
No,
not
I-
infinite.
yeah.
Your energy is not infinite. And you're either going to invest it in him or you're going to invest it in yourself. And right now, given that you're taking a huge risk and a big bet on yourself in a new city, I would invest in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. This feels like the best choice, even though it's like hard. But I think it's just about not wanting to like be alone. But I could find any guy on a dating app to hang out with. So
I don't suspect you're going to have a hard time finding people who are willing to hang out with you.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. I
right.
appreciate this a lot.
All right. Well, good luck.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Article believes in delightful design for every home. Well, every home needs to get some Article pieces. I got some. We have some beautiful outdoor pieces from Article. Truly lovely. I know our neighbor has a bunch of Article. Article has great furniture. Every Article piece I've ever gotten from them is always riddled with compliments when I have people over. Their mid-century, modern, coastal, industrial, Scandi, and bohemian designs make furniture shopping simple. Article's team of designers are all about finding the perfect balance between style, quality, and price. Whether it's outdoor furniture, indoor furniture, bedroom stuff, dining room sets, Article has it all. And the best part is you won't have to wait the weeks it usually does to get furniture. Article has such a wide selection and inventory of pieces that are available now and you can have within a week or two. And they make the whole shopping experience super convenient and easy. If you happen to shockingly not be in love with your Article piece, maybe you want to, just wasn't what you expected. I don't know. They make that whole exchange and return process incredibly easy, and you will love that whole experience. From beginning to end, Article is incredible. Their prices, the way, their convenience of shopping, their customer service, and most importantly, their furniture. Article is offering our listeners $50 off their first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/VIALL, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm 22, and I recently moved in with my boyfriend and his newborn, and I'm struggling to make our relationship work.
Okay. Sounds like you haven't been dating that long.
About 4 months,
Okay.
maybe 5.
As long as it's less than 9. Was there any overlap or shenanigans?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
How did you meet him?
I met him through one of my super good old friends.
Was he in a relationship with the mother of his child, or was this like a one-night stand thing?
It was kind of both. They dated for 3 months and then broke up, and then it was a one-night stand. Like 3 months later.
Yeah. And does he have full custody?
So right now, the mom has full custody, physical and legal, because they weren't married
Okay.
when she had the child. So that's still being like figured out for the most part.
And do you know what his goals are around that? Like, is it an amicable situation, or is it slightly messy?
It's super, super messy, but currently it's pretty cordial. He wants 50-50, but she's very like up and down.
Gotcha.
From what I've
So
heard.
he has an upcoming potential legal battle.
Yes.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, the decision to move in with someone you've been dating for 4 months, how did you guys come to that decision?
Well, we were practically like from the get-go, we just wanted to be with each other 24/7.
Okay.
It's definitely been like a different relationship for me. It's different than all of my other relationships because I feel like we get each other so well, but at the same time, like when we have disagreements, it's like at the end of the world pretty much. But we just wanted to spend like all of our time together pretty much.
I mean, it makes sense. You meet someone, you get excited, you're 22, so you're on the younger side of life, regardless of how it might feel for you. I don't know what your relationship history is prior to this guy, but not uncommon for someone who's 22 to meet someone they really connect with and feel very excited and want to spend all their time with them. It's definitely a red flag, though, that within the 4 months of you dating that you say to us that when we do fight, it's pretty fucking messy.
Yeah.
Because the biggest barometer of the potential of a relationship in my book is not how you get along, it's how you fight, especially early on. because right now you're just riding on the high of being super physically attracted to one another, the newness of it all. You're kind of like a savior for him. You know, here is a guy who was in a relationship, broke up with her, got her pregnant, found out, hey, by the way, I'm having a kid. I don't know what that was like for him. Probably scary. How old is he, by the way?
23.
Okay, so he's still super young. That must have been fucking crazy for him. Then he meets you, the beautiful lady. He's just like, oh my God, I'm saved. It's all going to be okay as long as I have her.
Yeah, I would say that that's actually accurate.
And so if I'm him, he's just like, let's move in. He wants to lock it down, you know? And moving in with each other is a false sense of security.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
You are living together, or you?
We are,
You
yeah.
are.
We moved in on the 17th of September.
Yeah. So these are just things you should just consider.
I hear that, yeah.
But I guess let's get to the meat of why you called, like minus everything I just said, which is like, regardless of him having a kid and you guys living together, I would have said the same thing to anyone, regardless of their age. I have a little bit more conviction in what I'm saying because you are 22. But the fact that you did call about you are struggling specifically around the fact that he has this newborn, and the newborn in that situation is seemingly, you know, making it difficult for you. You know, can you give us a little bit more insight into that? Like what about it is making it difficult?
Well, mainly what's making it difficult is like, so he has to be super nice to her before like this custody battle, like has to like be super cordial with her. And like he really does not like her because she struggled with like substance abuse during the pregnancy, which was rough for him.
Sure.
Like really hard for him. So she kind of like flirts with him over the messages, and like he can't do anything about it, and he can't really tell her to be like, hey, like back off, in case that'll like trigger her, and then like she'll be like, okay, well now when we do go to court, I am gonna get full custody, and like you're not gonna see your kid.
I mean, she can threaten all she wants, and don't take anything I say because I don't know what the fuck about legal when it comes to child custody. But I mean, I'm assuming someone who has a track record of substance abuse, especially while pregnant, is a liability for a child. And I hope he's documenting these conversations. And quite honestly, anything that she sends him in writing is something that he can use in the court of law. So
yeah, that was when we first started talking in general. A big topic was like the baby mama, and like I'm pretty aware of like the court system around custody. So even though she has had substance abuse issues, like in Minnesota, like it's definitely like a state where they want the baby to go to mom regardless. Yeah, that's been a struggle too, because even though there has been some documentation, she's never gotten like physically caught by the police or anything. So she does hold that over his head pretty frequently.
well, I mean, again, you know more than me when it comes to this, but like my understanding is that she can always hold this over his head.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
You know, right? Because she could say, hey, I'm agreeing to 50-50 custody. And then one day she could say, well, I don't want that. And then she could go to court and try to get 100% custody. So
that is true.
So like there's no end in sight when it comes to like tiptoeing around her, so to speak.
That is true, I guess. I guess like another issue that I'm having is like it just makes me super uncomfortable when he has to like go and see her knowing that like she's flirting with him, and then also just like there's been like 2 or 3 issues where his words don't line up with like his actions, where like he'll say that he's going to do something and then he doesn't do what he says that he's going to do.
Like what?
Let's say that he was going to play online with like a girlfriend, like just gaming online with a girlfriend, but like he previously was like, oh, but like she's super sneaky, I think that like she's a cheater. And I was like, oh, well, if you're going to play with her, can you please just let me know so that I can be in the loop and not be like surprised when you tell me some story about like how you were playing with her. And he was like, yeah, for sure, I can do that. And then I walk out and like he's playing with her, and I'm like, why didn't you just tell me? I'm literally in the other room. Like, you can communicate that to me. And I asked you to communicate and you didn't. So it's like situations like that really make me be like, okay, well, is what you're saying to me true? Like when you hang out with your baby mama, like are the things that you're telling me, are those true too? Or like, Are you leaving out information because you think that I'll be upset
What does your instinct tell you?
with his baby mama?
No. And like you asked like a lot of questions. Is he this? Is he doing this? Is he following through? Is he saying one thing and doing another? Despite what you want to believe, what does your body, what does your gut tell you is probably the truth?
Both. So like I feel like he does tell me like the like important things, but I also feel like he does leave out some information.
Also, why is he playing with girls online?
Huh? What do you mean?
You said he's playing with girls. I mean, I'm assuming some sort of online video game and shit.
Yeah, it is a video game, yeah. Like Fortnite or
Sure, but it sounds like, you're calling with these like gaming headsets, like people, it's 2023. You can you can make friendships, you can build rapport, you can develop connections with people while playing video games.
Exactly, yeah. And that was why I was like, hey, if you're going to play with her, can you just like tell me? Like it's not that big of a deal if you play with her. I'm not trying to isolate you. Just like let me know.
Well, I mean, again, like it is a balance, but you have the right to say no to him. You're not crazy or controlling because you're uncomfortable with your boyfriend who you now live with and you're taking some serious steps into this relationship. Is it not crazy for you to be like, I don't want you playing with women, I don't want you setting up play dates with women. Like, would you be cool if he was like, hey, I'm just going to meet up my friend Missy and have a drink with her. And you're like, who's Missy? You're like, oh, just some girl,
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But when he does play, he plays with like his friends too. So it's not like his one-on-one with this girl, but it's like, I'd still like to know. And that is my biggest fear because I don't want to be controlling it. And he's like, well, I was scared. Like you were already mad at me and like, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's not an excuse. Like you're protecting yourself when you're not telling me things. Like you're not like protecting me. And like, that's when it feels like he doesn't like understand me or like see me because I'm very communicative and I feel like I don't receive that from him because he is scared. And I know a little bit about his like past relationships and like stuff like that. So I can empathize with him, but it's also like, when do I need to stop?
Yeah. Are you empathizing with him or are you just making excuses for him?
Kind of both. I mean,
you can empathize with someone and still hold them accountable.
Right.
You can empathizing with him would be like, I recognize why this was difficult for you. I recognize why you struggle with this. Nevertheless, I still expect you to do it. Because, as a capable young woman, you want someone who can do the right thing, make the tough choices, like I was scared and, I didn't want you to be mad at me. Like that's something a 12-year-old would say. But it's your choice. Is he capable of giving you what you want and need? It does, like, it's amazing that you guys have great sex and I don't know, have a fun time. I don't know what it, like all the things that if I ask you, what do you love about this relationship? It sounds like 4 months in, you could probably say a lot of nice things, but you have other things that 4 months in that are stressing you the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, we also like, I know that both of us want it to work.
What are you willing to do to make it work?
Well, we actually signed up for couples therapy.
Really?
Yeah, kind of hoping that that'll like help.
It might, because it sounds like your biggest issue is like how you guys communicate your struggles. You can say in the therapy session, like, it frustrates me when he does X, Y, or Z. And then you'll have this third party person kind of mediating the conversation. And hopefully you guys will help get on the same page and learn some tools of how to communicate,
Yeah, because we definitely both just try to get our own points across.
He may, I don't know, like maybe both of you, but like he might have some work to do on himself. Couples therapy isn't going to fix him. It's just going to help you guys communicate more effectively. I just think you should slow down with your expectations about the future with him. And I don't mean like couples therapy, great. I don't mean slow down there. It's just what do you guys tell yourselves? The promises you make to each other, the playing house, It's easy to be like, oh, I love you. We're going to be each other forever. It's hard to like communicate effectively and listen because the planning doesn't save a relationship. It doesn't make a relationship. It just makes it harder to move on if it doesn't work out because you feel like it didn't work out and we promised each other and yada, yada, yada. But it's so easy to play house and make these grand promises about the relationship and the future and the potential. And maybe you'll get there, but to get there, you have to, slow it down a little bit. And by slow it down is just stop putting these heightened expectations of each other on the relationship. You've only been dating for 4 months.
Yeah, we're still getting to know each other.
Yeah. And it's just going to take time. And so it's just acknowledging to each other that that's a reality. Sometimes it's scary. You guys have moved in with each other. You're making these big promises, and it's sometimes scary for two people who have strong feelings for each other to say, well, if we're really keeping it real, we don't really know each other, and we're not sure what we might find out about each other, and that might impact our relationship. And we can still choose. We can always choose to work through it. You don't even know how compatible you are or aren't.
I suppose so. It feels like we do, but I understand that, it really is like a new relationship.
So you guys have to just be a little bit more honest with each other without freaking each other out. And I think it's awesome that you guys signed up for couples therapy and that he's willing to do that. And that's a great, big first step for two people who you guys like each other. There's a lot of potential there. It seems like that's how you both feel, but you recognize the challenges and you're like, I want to, when I said, what are you willing to do? Well, you're willing. It sounds like you're willing to do a lot, and that's awesome. If this is your forever person, there's just no need to be in a rush. You're going to be with this guy for fucking ever.
I guess so. I guess one of my questions that I really struggle to understand with him is but when I bring something up that is bothering me, he does just get mega defensive. So I had told him, I was like, hey, this has been really hard for me recently. When the baby was born, I was like, hey, I'm really struggling right now. This has been super hard and overwhelming. And I see that obviously this is hard for you too. But I was like, hey, this is just super hard for me. And I was trying to communicate that with him. And his response was pretty much get well soon. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'll tell you why he responded that way.
Why?
Because he already has one problem in his life, his baby mama. And his expectation of you is to not be a problem. What he wants you to be is someone he can count on for emotional support and empathy and understanding. And your problems are inconvenient to his problems. And I suffer with this problem too. This is things I always have to work on. I care a lot about being a great partner to my partner. I care. I put a lot of effort into my relationship. And so every once in a while, when my partner expresses a frustration that they have, I take it personally. I make it about me, and then I get defensive. And it's just but I'm trying so fucking hard already. So there's that.
Sounded exactly like him right there. Yeah.
And then you add to the fact that he does have this child custody problem, and I'm sure it's very stressful for him, and it's constantly on his mind. He's constantly preoccupied by it. And then when you all of a sudden you're knocking on his door being like, hey, by the way, I have something to complain about too. He's just like, what? Come on. You're supposed to be the person who doesn't complain to me. You're supposed to be the person I can vent to about the problems I have.
Right.
But you have the right to express your frustration. So that is definitely something couples therapy can help with for sure. And he just needs to recognize that, this is a problem he has asked you to accept. I mean, has he ever sat down and say, can I just say, for everything we've been through, I really appreciate just how fucking cool and understanding you've been about this whole situation, because quite frankly, I realize that not everyone would accept my current situation and my life as it is now. And so I just want to say thank you. Has he ever done that?
In a way, when I told him I was struggling, that was the response that I was looking for, was well, thank you for being with me through this and doing these things. I don't know if he's ever said that just to say it versus saying it after we come to a solution on something that we're arguing about. It usually feels like an afterwards thing, if that makes sense, which I still appreciate, but it just doesn't feel as
it's sincere. He's really taking the time. Well, you deserve to hear that. His head's below water. I don't know. Head above water. I don't know. He's struggling. He's got a lot on his plate. You know, I can only imagine. Fuck, if I were 23 and knocked up my ex after we broke up and then met another girl, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. Honestly, I'd be freaking out. So I empathize with him. But nevertheless, it is not your responsibility to take on all the emotional baggage because you can or you're willing to. You don't, again, there's no one's going to like deliver you a trophy. You're not going to get recognized as girlfriend of the year. You know, you're not going to be, no one's going to call you a hero.
Right. Yeah. And that's like definitely not something that I expect.
Well, then why are you doing it? You have the right to expect these things and you have the right to communicate. And he can, swing and miss a few times, but he needs to recognize, despite what he's going through, that he's asking a ton of you and to be appreciative about that and to prioritize his current relationship, you, above all things, minus maybe his child.
The baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And something to keep in mind, unless he does go to court and figure out a way to get a judge on his side, she will always be able to hang this over his head. So if she's that much of a liability, maybe he just gets his ducks in a row and comes out fucking swinging. And I don't know. That's just, because she ain't gonna like chill out anytime soon. And if she's willing to weaponize the baby now, she's gonna weaponize this baby forever.
Yeah, that's definitely why it's like, hey, talk to this lawyer. Like, you need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, she's cool right now, but like, she won't be cool like forever.
No. You guys get married or whatever and have another kid. Like,
right. Yeah.
He is relying on hope when it comes to her. And that is not something I would count on.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
But listen,
Yeah.
despite your feelings for this guy, you have some tough choices to make and you need to hold him accountable and you can't make excuses for him. You're only 22. You have so much life in front of you and the rest of your life is such a fucking long time.
I know. I just want to get lucky,
I'm
I
sure
want
you
to get
will.
lucky. I want to find my person right now.
I hear ya, but I don't think you're going to have a problem meeting people if this doesn't work out. And I'm not saying you should quit. I mean, again, I think I love that you guys are going to couples therapy. Don't sacrifice the rest of your life because you're an impatient 22-year-old.
That's valid.
You have no reason to be impatient. You have every reason to be picky and take your time. There are going to be plenty of guys who would be willing to date you, and maybe he's your guy, but like take it fucking slow with him because playing house and speeding things up and trying to like prove to each other how strong your feelings are by making these huge life choices doesn't make a relationship work. It just adds more pressure.
So then I guess like by taking it, like personally, I feel like we have pretty much reached the limit. Like next step would be like, oh, we're getting engaged.
That's
and
the
married.
problem though. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You've been going so fast. Your foot's been on the gas and you haven't let off. And you're right. The logical next step is to get fucking married. What do we do next? As human beings, we want to feel like we're making progress and we're doing things and we're, So yes, it makes sense that in your brain you're thinking, well, fuck, that's the red flag. That should tell you something. You are skipping a lot of steps and getting to know each other. And you are afraid to acknowledge to each other that despite the intensity of your feelings for each other, that you two might not be each other's person. You might be as well. But don't be afraid to challenge your feelings for each other and ask yourselves the tough questions. Are we really compatible? Is this really that's best for us? Are we right for each other? Do we make each other feel safe and secure? And can we communicate? And do I feel understood? And can we work through difficult situations together? And maybe the answer to all these questions with him is yes. And I do think it's a huge green flag that you met a 23-year-old man who's willing to get couples therapy. That's positive.
He suggested it.
Yeah.
I was like,
So that's great.
I was like, maybe you are the one.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's a
yeah.
green flag. But, he's got to follow through and it can't just be something he throws out there. I don't,
Right.
I'm not saying whether he's your guy or not. I'm just saying don't be afraid to slow it down and challenge each other and dare each other to actually find out. Don't be afraid to realize that you're to each other, that you're not each other's person.
I feel like that's so hard when, you're in the relationship.
It is, but you're not going to escape that at some point. Well, regardless of what, if you decide to stay with him and get married or have kids, I don't know what your choices are, but you're not going to be able to avoid that inevitable moment where you guys are like, I'm not feeling as connected to you right now. You guys just are connected by default. Everything is so fucking intense, so new and so dramatic and so fucking, and even the drama that you guys are facing brings you together in some weird. It's just so fucking intense.
Yeah, there's been a lot of drama while we've been together.
But eventually the intensity is going to die down, and you don't want to wake up and be like, well, who are you? Who am I? Do I really feel that way about you anymore? Because the intensity isn't there. And that'll happen no matter what. It happens to everybody.
I believe that, yeah.
The relationship has resulted in some obvious red flags that need to be addressed.
Yeah, mainly the lying. Or not the lying, the not following
The
through
avoiding the
on-
truth and the kind of, he might be well-intentioned, but it's still not okay. He's probably thinking to myself, I know I'm not doing anything wrong, and I just don't want to fight, so I'm just not going to tell her because I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not flirting with her. I'm not, being inappropriate. And I just don't want the hassle. And this is a guy at 23 who doesn't need one more hassle. He's got so many hassles in his life. But it's still it's still not okay, and he needs to recognize that, and you have the right to say it to him and not feel like the bad guy all the time because you're asking for some simple communication.
But that is when I feel controlling then. Because, I am aware that he has so much on his plate. And, some of these things I feel like might be things where it's the only reason I need to know so much is because I am feeling insecure because of, these past experiences.
Yeah, but all the more reason to slow it down, but you're doing the opposite. You can meet a guy that you really like and like a lot of things about him and see a lot of potential in, and then recognize yourself, boy, not the best timing. I met a guy I really like, and there's so much things I like about him, but I met him at a time where he is going through it. You would have been better off to meet this guy 2 years from now where he's got this all figured out and he's through the court system and he's just like a single dad, but that's not how you met him, right? And that's life. And you can still make it work, but you're doing the thing where it's just well, to make it work, let's just fast forward our relationship. Let's get ourselves stuck. And then once we're stuck, we'll put ourselves into a corner in hopes that we'll just have to figure it out because we're so pot committed. So
I hear you.
You don't have to move out. I'm not saying you have to go all the way backwards, but just be honest with them. Hey, I just think we should slow down. I love you. I care about you. I'm so appreciative of the fact that you suggest this couples therapy. Let's go ahead and do that, but let's just slow down. And anyways, what does that mean? Let's just acknowledging that we have a lot to learn about each other. Just full stop. That, conversations around engagement and kids, we need to hold each other accountable to we're not remotely close to that. And it's not because I don't love you. Fuck. My gut tells me to start to do nothing but talk about having babies with you. But that's that's what I want to do. Sure. So feel good about that. But I want us to do it right too. And I don't want to repeat patterns, and I don't want you to repeat patterns, and I don't want us to feel like we're stuck, and I don't want to put pressure on us, and I don't want to add stresses to our relationship. So I want to slow down.
I can definitely do that. I don't think that'll be an issue. I mean, I think that he'll feel a little rejected or hurt.
Rejected because you're saying I'm not ready to get engaged yet?
Rejected because we are moving at a fast pace, and so I feel like he's going to interpret me saying let's slow it down as to I'm not sure if I love you as much as I say that I love you. I feel like that is definitely how he will interpret it.
Yeah,
at least at first.
Sure. No, I hear you. That is just a sign that he has some maturing to do. And that's okay because he's only 23.
Right.
In a relationship, you're going to hurt each other's feelings. You're going to disappoint each other. And the important thing is how you work through that. So lead with hey, I love you. I really do. I care so much about you. I want to do whatever I can to set us up so that we have a chance to be together forever. That's my goal. That's what I want. That's why I'm saying this to you. But I do think we should slow down and just focus on getting to know each other. Focus our connection, focusing on listening to each other. Not be afraid to just talk and acknowledge the reality of the situation. because being delusional with each other isn't going to grow our relationship.
Gosh, it makes me nervous.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I did dig this hole myself.
It's not that big of a hole. You can get out of it. And like,
Yeah.
again, maybe he's your guy. I don't know. You know?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I feel like anyone that dates anyone for the most part, it's like you always hope that like
Right? Exactly. But also remember that, you know? It's like, I can't have it not work out again, you know, or I can't, you know, I've already invested 4 months, or I've already invested a year or 4 years, but
yeah,
just,
I can definitely do that
okay.
and just be like, yeah, like I love you.
Yeah, lead with love and lead with kindness and try to make him secure. He can say, well, that's hard to hear. That makes me feel a little nervous. That makes me feel a little scared, if I'm being honest, but I understand what you're saying. And me being scared to hear that only just, again, should make you feel good because, like, he doesn't want to lose you. He's scared, you know, he doesn't want to hear that. So you can bond over the desire that you both have to make this work. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Gosh.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's going through a lot. I've been him before. I've been you before. You know, I get where you guys are coming from, but you got to be honest with yourself about your choices. It's so much easier to play house and pretend that everything's fine and that love conquers all. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah.
You'll figure it out. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good
I'm
luck.
pretty hopeful.
Keep us posted. We are. Let us know if he wants to come on.
Will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Good luck. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to send in those questions at asknick@theviallfiles.com. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Reality Recap. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.